They say life is like a flute. Huh? It is full of emptiness. A flute is an empty bamboo stick. It is full of emptiness with holes at regular intervals. This emptiness is filled with all holes at regular intervals, and this is fully empty. Life is also similar to a flute, but it can this flute, though it is empty and having holes, it can play very pleasant musical notes with the flute. The flute can mesmerize people with its music. It can mesmerize people, and Lord Krishna used the flute so fluently that he used to mesmerize the cows and all the gopikas and his friends through his playing of the flute. But what is the quality of the flute that is comparable to a life of a human? A human too should become empty as the flute. His life should be full of emptiness. Not full of, fill up his life with hatred, anger, evil, and other negativities. If you fill it up, then you cannot blow the pleasant music through your self. Okay, take the example of the flute. It is empty. It is full of emptiness, and it doesn't come to life until you blow air through it. What is air? For us humans, air is like life for us. Without breathing in air, without breathing out air, we are not able to survive. So since this air is so important, this flute, which is comparable to humans, with emptiness, filled with emptiness, comes to life only we breathe through it. We breathe air through it. And this air that we breathe, if we regulate it through the holes at regular intervals, we can play pleasant, beautiful, soul soothing music through like the flute. Okay, like for example, at regular intervals, if you control the air, like pranayama, controlled breathing. Similarly, here the flute, we are doing controlling the air that we breathe inside the flute. So as we control the air that we breathe through the flute, we are doing the regulation of air, and through this regulation of air, even though it's like pranayama, it gives out soothing music, that is soulful music, that is so pleasant, that is so beautiful music through that comes out from the flute. So our life is also similar to the flute. It is like playing soulful music when we are empty, when there is a concept of emptiness in us, and when there is then there is constant regulation of air through controlled breathing. When you do the controlled breathing like the pranayama, we come out with pleasant, soulful music like the flute. Our life itself becomes like a flute that is gives out soothing, soulful music that attracts everybody, there's a pleasant music for everybody. Wherever we go, we'll be the center of attraction, because we are like the flute. The flute gives out pleasant music through its emptiness, but not by regulating the air that we breathe in through it, breathe out through it. And when you breathe out air, when you fill the flute with air, and when we regulate that air through these holes, we are doing pranayama, and this pranayama leads to soulful music, soulful, soothing, and pleasant music, that is music to ears. So this music to ears calms down the other persons, and gives out such a beautiful feeling for others around you, that they get attracted towards you, and they You yourself are so pleasant enough that you enjoy your life in such a way that that emptiness is filled with air, that air that you blow through it, that air that you exhale through it is regulated through the holes, and with this regulation the pranayama occurs, that is the controlled breathing occurs, and this controlled breathing will give out soothful soulful music in your life that becomes your life itself, and it brings back the music into your life that gives out this soulful music. Otherwise the flute is just a empty piece of hollow wood, a piece of bamboo wood with a hollowness inside, emptiness, and just some few holes. But how do you bring this emptiness into life is you breathe through it and you regulate that breath, and through the regulation of breath you bring music to ears and soulful music to others, that others get in attraction towards you, and you yourself will be soulful enough that you will feel the change that is happening in you, that you brought in your life through that emptiness. You brought air into you, and you breathe air, and when you breathe air it is life giving, and when it's life giving, when you regulate this life giving air, then there is controlled breathing happening. This controlled breathing will lead to pranayama, and this pranayama will lead to your welfare and your well-being and your soulful living, and that soulful living is similar to a flute. So a flute is similar to your life. Only thing is you have to fill it up with such beautiful air and regulate it like the pranayama, that you bring back that cheerfulness, happiness, health, and all the goodness in your life, like a flute that can bring music to ears. You can bring music into your lives like a flute by bringing by the emptiness that you have in you, by filling it up with life giving air and regulating this air like pranayama, and coming out with soulful music into your lives. Thank you.